What's going on, 5-Night Gaming crew? Lethal One up here, joined by the Platinum Chin. I believe he's going to be down below me or on the side of me. He's going to be one of the sides. He's going to be one of the sides. But Platinum Chin is here with me to talk about PlayStation State of Play event that just happened. We're going to kind of just do a very kind of quick recap, going over some of the games. Nothing in depth, really, just kind of just go through each game. And then, you know, at the end, I guess we'll say how we feel about it.
Yeah.
Platinum Chin, are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready, man. Let's get to it.
All right, cool. So first off, shout out to Nibble. Nibble, we're using his Twitter to give us some screenshots to kind of provide you guys some type of visual as we go through each of his announcements. If I miss an announcement, Platinum Chin, let me know if I missed one, if you see it or whatever.
Yep.
Same thing with the comment section down below. If I missed one, let me know. But I think for the most part, we're just trying to cover some of the bigger announcements. But with the first one, I have here Knockout City is coming to PlayStation 4. This was that dodgeball style battle arena kind of game. Did you see that one, Chin?
Not to correct you so fast. I think the first one was actually Crash Bandicoot.
Let me move up in this timeline, Chin. Because this is how we got. Oh, okay. Crash Bandicoot is right there. Boom. I see it. Hey, there we go. But I guess this one was just the upgrade, right?
Yeah,
the PS5
it was the
upgrade?
PS5
Okay.
upgrade. So it's not huge news, but that is fun for like me. I don't have it at all. So that's like cool. I get to play the upgrade version first time.
Okay, boom, there you go. So yeah, I mean, like you said, nothing really too big, but it's cool. I think I did catch on that they even mentioned some cool stuff like DualSense features. Was it was it with the weapons? Not the weapons. Oh, I already forgot some of it, but that's exactly
got the 3D audio stuff, which is good because I have the 3D audio headset that I bought. So
yeah, I'd say, but they mentioned too, like if it was like an action or something that Crash does, that like was it from the suit maybe too, that like you could feel it from the triggers, the adaptive triggers and whatnot. They went into detail about it in the actual description in the video. Okay, so I mean that was the main thing from Crash Bandicoot 4 that we saw. So I guess we can we're just gonna scroll down here. I have a bunch of tabs, but we'll just gotta go and scroll through this timeline of events right here. Jumping past after Crash, they gave us a look at the Returnal, and basically they kind of already showed gameplay in a prior video that they did for the game itself. But in this one, I kind of feel like they gave us a bit more of the story.
Yeah.
And that's something that I wanted to know because this game, it was announced as a psychological, I think, horror game. So a part of me was like, oh, because that was part of the genre for the game. The other part of it was I think it was like that third person shooter.
Yeah.
But no, I was excited to see more of the story because I'm curious to know like, what's this loop about? And they give us, in the last trailer, they showed her the main character going through a door. But in this one, they went back and showed like her whole house.
Yeah.
So it talks a little bit more about the alien planet that I think it was giving her like, I don't want to say it was like illusions. Maybe, Chen, did they describe it better? It was something where she was seeing like her old house where she grew up in, but it was feeding her some type of, illusion is the first word that comes to my mind.
You know,
but Chen,
I hate to sound like I don't know what I'm talking about with this one. I was actually so focused on how the gameplay looked to me. Personally, the gameplay, and then the one thing they mentioned that I was like, that's cool, the procedural generation when you die. Which must really play into the lore, because if it's messing with her mind, that must be the reason they made things procedural when you die. But people, do not vilify me in the comments because I didn't pay attention to the story aspect of the game. It looked like Anthem, and I was like, that looks kind of fun. I want to shoot in this game.
Well, yeah, they showed like I feel like they showed a different weapon. There's a cool weapon going on that have like I think it was like a bunch of green energy blasts shooting in like different directions. They were showing a bunch of different stuff, but
powers and stuff. The way she like dodged and all that, and she crash landed on a planet. It was what I picked up about the story.
Okay, that's good. That's good enough. You guys got the gist of it. But yeah, they did give more details on Returnal. And again, the game will be coming out, I think it was later on this year, but it did get delayed, but it's still coming out a little bit later on this year. Dropping it down a bit more here, they mentioned Knockout City. Now, Knockout City, this game was announced in the Nintendo Direct.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken.
Yes, it was.
Good. Okay, and I thought this was going to be like a Nintendo exclusive game, but I'm completely wrong.
I did too.
Who the developers were. So it's cool to see that's also coming out to PlayStation 4.
Yeah.
But I mean, again, the details I was going to mention it, when I first started the video, was it's like a dodgeball, what's it called, like a battle arena game. So not much besides that. It looks cool. They showed more gameplay mechanics though. You can make it harder for your opponent to kind of guess what you're going to do in terms of how you want to throw the ball. They were showing curves, lobbing it. They were showing a bunch of different ways. You can
combo moves
psych out
with your teammates and stuff too.
Yeah, and you can use your teammate to do like an ultimate move.
I'm excited for this now. Like,
dude, same.
This looks way better than Destruction All Stars.
Oh no, you can throw shade. Okay,
I'm gonna throw some shade at Destruction All Stars. I'm sorry.
Right.
This game looks way more fun. I'm juiced for it. It's simple. It's just dodgeball, dude. It's dodgeball, and like I'm excited.
How have we not had one yet? I don't know. I can't remember a big dodgeball game. Unless I missed one, I probably missed one. Again, don't crucify me, but this is exciting. This is exciting times for those OG dodgeball players like myself. All right, cool. So we're going to pass Knockout City. That was a cool announcement. They gave information on an upcoming game called Sifu, which I don't know about you, Platinum Chin, but it gave me, for some reason, the vibes of, was it Sleeping Dogs? I think it was that game.
Yes, that was a huge thing I saw when I was watching it with some of the guys in 5.9 and some of the chat. But instantly, and it says it right there, people who made Absolver. I saw that, like, as soon as I saw it, I was like, wow, this looks like Absolver. And then they started fighting, and I was like, this looks way too much like Absolver. I looked it up. Same developers. If people aren't familiar with Absolver, it is a martial arts game. There isn't, I mean, there's technically a story, but it's very convoluted and confusing. And it is just a third-person martial arts. You just go around and you learn martial arts moves from different enemies, and you can like fight your friends and like PvP and everything. And they just made a better version of it, it looks like. So
that's cool.
That's really cool. I loved that game. So anybody who actually likes like fighting games, like skill-based fighting games, like that's okay. Most fighting games are skill based, but it's different. It's like actual martial arts. Like you have to learn the martial arts to be able to make combo moves and all. It's crazy. So that is a very cool game. I'm very excited for that.
I'll have to look more into Absolver because now that you mention that, I feel like I've heard of it, but I need to look more into it. But
it was a free game a while ago, a few years ago on PlayStation. It took me about like a day to beat the campaign. Might have been like a couple hours. That was it. And like it was very, very short because most of it is just the combat. You martial arts with your friends. That's it.
Right. And that's exactly what this game was like, showing so much of, was a bunch of combat. So yeah, that sold me enough already. It's coming later this year to PS4 and PS5. They announced dropped down a little bit. These are the guys from Hyper Light Drifter. New look at Solar Ash. This game looks really good. I was shocked. I mean, I wish I could have played the Hyper Light Drifter game. I know a lot of people love that game. So now that I see Solar Ash, I'm going to have to look back at that game. But looking at this game, I'm just pulling up the more of the screenshots here bigger. It looks so good. It looks so much fun, dude.
It's so pretty.
And the art style, I think it's probably the peak thing of what a lot of people are talking about. I think it's the coolest thing about it, right?
Yes.
It shares that same thing as the previous game. But here's some more screenshots. I mean, it just looks good. The open world that it was showing looked awesome.
It's weird because as soon as I saw it, the grass, maybe people disagray, but for some reason I got like No Man's Sky vibes. Maybe it's the color palette.
Yeah, it's the color palette.
I think it's the
very
color
colorful
palette, but because obviously the gameplay is nowhere even close. But it's beautiful, and I just love what developers are taking advantage with the hardware for PS5. I think this comes out to PS4 too. Yes, it does come out to PS4 too. But I mean, clearly we're going to see the PS5 one looking superior. I mean, obviously, but developers are taking advantage, and I love it. I love to see it. I love it so much. I think what's going to sell this game is probably they didn't talk about it, but I anticipate some really nice haptic feedback features. And 3D audio features, and I think that's what's really going to drive the game to be a little bit better than just a basic indie. Personally?
I think even the soundtrack, because I'm not remember too much of it, but the soundtrack sounded good when they were showing the trailer. So yeah, dude, it's bumping. It's gonna be one of those like really good titles.
Yes. I think it'll be fun. Will I buy it? Who's to say? But it does look fun.
All right, let's jump down. I think we talked enough about Solar Ash. Let's drop down a little bit here. This is a big one, right? Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach. Again, this is a game that was already announced, but they gave more details on it. And Chin, I have to ask you because I only played the first Five Nights at Freddy. I didn't play the rest of them, but this is a completely different game. Now that we actually got more actual gameplay on it, it's a little bit. I mean, not completely. Well, for the most part, it's a different kind of game. Yeah, you know. So, I guess, give me your thoughts. Are you looking forward to this, or you think you're gonna play this?
Yeah, I love horror games. I love horror games. Now, Five Nights at Freddy's, I'm like, okay, but watching it, I was like, I could see how that could be scary, but I could also see how that could be not scary. But I want to give it a try. See, tell me if you agree, because you just played this game recently. I got Alien Isolation vibes when I was watching it, and I was like, if it's got that same vibe, I'm completely down for it. Like, I love being scared. I love it. I don't know why. I get terrified, bro. Like, I will scream. I will freak out. I will absolutely lose my mind. But I love that. It's so fun. Yeah. I've played like VR Five Nights at Freddy's. Nothing in that was anywhere close to what this is like. It really is just totally different. Like they don't have a game like this.
I was gonna say it adopts that whole style of gameplay where it's like the enemy chases you and follows you. And
first person
anytime that is like a main thing for like a main mechanic of a game or a feature, dude, no. You ready? Like, I mean, I'm gonna play it because like I have this weird relationship where I like to play these games, but I hate it because I hate that aspect of the game. But I mean, it's gonna have that, and I'm sure it's gonna do well just because of that. And the crazy part is animatronics, so you wouldn't be scared. But dude, anytime you're being chased and just something scared, it's like, dude, no.
Here's the worst thing: it's first person too. Like the difference between being chased in third person and first person is you can't turn the camera around. It's a look at the thing chasing you, because like in first person, your whole body turns around. Now you're stopped. They kill you. No, it's creepy.
Yeah. Okay, we'll move over here now. Move over on down. Five Nights at Freddy looks really good. And then they gave some more information in regards to Oddworld Soulstorm. Okay. I played this game when I was younger. Yeah. I mean, it was like it was kind of hard for me to understand it, but like the game looks good, and I know fans of the series are probably gonna be super excited to see this game. So I mean, I don't have too much to offer in terms of what they're. I know what extra to add on to that, but they talked about how you can feel Abe's heartbeat with the DualSense, and that was the last thing I remember from the actual trailer. But I mean, it's good for the fans.
The rest of it was just extra. It was just Oddworld. Like I mean, Oddworld is it's a game. It's not bad. To me, it's not like it's a great game. It's one of those staple platformers that PlayStation has had. So I understand why it keeps making a return. There's got to be a solid fan base for it. I have no criticism of the game. It's just that it's pretty basic, outdated, I'd say.
2.9D.
2.9D though.
That was the one thing I remember. 2.9D.
2.9D is the dimensions in that game. 2. Like, where's the final temp? I don't know. But again, it's one of those things where you get the haptic feedback, you get the 3D audio, you put those features in, you bring your game to another level. So whatever you put out.
Not just that, Chin. Oddworld will be free for PlayStation Plus users in April. That was the other big part of that announcement.
That's right. Don't have to pay for it.
Which I guess we can mention it now, just in case we forget later on. But like, we were kind of shocked. I think a lot of us were waiting to see the March lineup, and we haven't gotten that yet. So we've got April. So it just is an interesting extra take.
Not even March for April. Like it will confuse me too. I kept hearing rumors like people were like, "Oh, it's gonna be crazy. They're gonna give us Final Fantasy as a free game," and I was I don't know about that. But the fact that they hadn't told us yet, I was like, okay, maybe they're doing something crazy. That's why they haven't brought out the games. But we still don't know what the March games are. Maybe they haven't decided yet.
Well, and it brings us to my next point. A lot of people are also saying Kina was going to be one of the March games, and I was like, no way. Because it was speculated that the date would be for a March release, but this did get confirmed that the release is going to be August 24th. I want to make sure I don't mess that up. But yeah, they basically just gave more of some more gameplay, some more little bits and parts of the story. I can't help but look at this game and just be like, bro, like Pixar, it's beautiful. It's so beautiful. Is this not a Disney game? No, Ember Labs. These guys destroyed it with this game. It's so beautiful looking. Destroyed it in a good way.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was like, maybe this will be like a obviously it's adventure like, but I was thinking, okay, maybe like Tomb Raider kind of style. But then the combat was coming around, and I'm like, what is this, Dark Souls? Like, this game.
Well, people were saying like Zelda too.
That screenshot. Like, can you go back to that screenshot with the kid's face? Look at that.
Yeah, look at that.
That is a new age Pixar. It is absolutely gorgeous. I'm stunned. I'm actually stunned. And the animations for when they were talking, like everything was just. It was beautiful. It was a movie.
They were showing like new abilities too that she was using with her staff. She was like, I don't know, she's doing like a barrage of attacks of like key blast attacks. I'll just say that for jokes. But like she was shooting like a bunch of blasts, and I was like, well, what is this? Like they showed some new stuff, and again they kind of just pushed it back more to a little bit more story and whatnot. But even the enemies, the transforming person into the big monster, I was like, what is this? It looks so good.
I'm so excited. Like. That is one of those games that I'm like, when I feel like when it comes out, it's like, this is worth a PS5. I know people are going to be like, $500 for what? I'll be like, yes. It might just be one of those games.
I was gonna say, and I'd pay full price, but I don't know if they haven't announced a price yet. But I mean, if it's like $70, listen, I'll be one of those guys. I'll be one of those guys that's like, listen, the game looks good enough that I would be willing to, support the devs in that decision of like paying for a full price game for that. So I don't know, but pretty much. I mean, hopefully PlayStation will acquire Ember Labs. That's the studio. I would love for them to acquire them because this game is so good.
It is. It is good. They might after this. They might after this. You never know.
Yeah. And I think this game will sell good. I really do. I really do. Jumping down, they gave us a little bit more information for Deathloop. This game looks so good. I feel like for the main trailer that we got today, it was maybe a little bit more story, little bits of story focus. It still showed some gameplay stuff. They showed the opposing assassin from the main character. She transformed into another character. So like they're gonna have some crazy abilities where like they can transform or disguise themselves, right? Because this is like that assassin. This is an assassin slash what's the Dishonored slash whatever you want to call it.
It's such a weird game because it's like if I remember correctly from the premise back in June or July state of play, it was like. If you don't kill a certain person, they're gonna come and kill you, kind of a thing. And then time loops back to before that, but then things change a bit, so it's almost I don't know, but whatever they said, I remember it being like, this is the game I want. And then watching it, like you said, Dishonored, but also it felt like Mirror's Edge at the same time, and I was like, this is Arcane Studios. I'm saying their studio name right. That's the one. They're published by Bethesda. Because I was talking on stream because we did stream this on the 5-9 Twitch channel, everybody, and I was like, oh, this is a Bethesda game. They make good games. And I was like, wait a minute, no, they don't actually produce this game or develop it. They publish it. They don't develop it. So I've been excited for this game since it was shown.
Potentially one of the final games for PlayStation. Who knows? But it looks good and I'm excited. I can't wait to play it. Okay, let's jump down to what was, I guess for me personally, the surprising end of State of Play. How are you going to go out with a bang? They went back into Final Fantasy VII, and in my mind, I was like, okay, cool. Like, this is interesting. We'll probably get like everybody's been asking for the PlayStation 5 update, you know, the digital upgrade or whatever. And that's what I was looking forward to. To my surprise, not just that, right? More. They went ahead. I'm going to scroll down a little bit more here. And they announced episode Yuffie. I believe that was the name that they announced it with. It's episode Yuffie. They brought Yuffie in finally. I mean, she was in, if you caught on to it, she had parts in the game, right? So this is cool. They're giving her full on like episode, and not just her. They brought in another character for, if I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong, but people were saying that these are characters from, or the other characters from Dirge of Cerberus possibly, or from a different Final Fantasy title from back then. So, Chin. Are you a Final Fantasy guy?
To be honest, I don't play much Final Fantasy. I have watched Final Fantasy. My brothers grew up with Final Fantasy. I have no, what's the word? Can't think of it. I have nothing bad to say about it. Let's just say that. I've always enjoyed watching the game. I've never personally played much of it. I own Final Fantasy VII because I game share, and I don't play it. But it's funny that this episode came out, because I was looking at this and I was in the stream and I was like, oh, cool, the upgrade. And then someone, who was, I can't remember who was in the chat with us. They're like, no, this is totally DLC. And I was like, why would they do DLC for a game that still has parts 2 and 3 to come out? Like, it's not a complete game. Right. And then all of a sudden it was like DLC, and I was like, wait a minute.
That's why I was confused. I was like, wait, is there more to, like, what more could you add that you weren't going to save, right, for like the next game? But I've been curious for plans of like Final Fantasy VII. Like, when was I guess a lot of people were expecting Yuffie to come, obviously, if you play the games, like soon, right? But bringing Yuffie in for the DLC for the first part, I was like, whoa, that's interesting. It's
crazy.
So who knows how it's going to go. Again, for people that are more into the lore, we're not that versed into the lore, so we don't know exactly.
Apologies, don't crucify us, please.
Yeah, don't crucify us. So I know we'll get hit for that. But I mean, I'm excited. It looks really cool. And just to make note of a couple of the features, performance/graphics mode, there's I think that means, I think Nibbo meant to put improved loading times, classic difficulty modes, photo mode, and again, like we said, the new Yuffie episode, and free upgrade if you own the game.
Yeah.
Look at that. Boom. And that, my friends, that was the bulk. If we missed anything, again, apologies. Let us know down below what we missed and just share it with everybody else. But that was the bulk of the State of Play. So I think the big question, Chin, is, were you satisfied?
I know what I was watching the Twitch chat. I know what hazing thinks. I know what a lot of people are saying. They did not like the State of Play too much. Personally, and I feel like I'm on the opposite end of the spectrum from a lot of people. I thought it was fine. I thought it was a good State of Play. I didn't anticipate anything huge coming. I expected something with Final Fantasy VII. I did expect a couple other things, like, of course, the March games. Maybe something on Avengers, because Spider-Man's the next exclusive thing to come to Avengers. I thought that might have been showcased. I know people were thinking God of War, and I'm like, no, they're not. They wouldn't even be close to mentioning anything about God of War. I had no anticipation for God of War. So, like, to me, seeing what they showed, because it is just The state of play is just updates on games they have currently in development, gameplay and stuff. I thought it was a good state of play. I was not dissatisfied with it. I had anticipated other things, but I'm not upset that they're not there.
Yeah, so for me, I wasn't mad. I wasn't like upset, but I had mentioned to Chin previously before we started recording, I was just hoping on some development news in regards to like a bigger first party or first PlayStation Studio game. That's the word I want to say here. I was hoping to hear something about Horizon. I was really hoping to get some type of news because that's the game where I'm like, okay, that's got to be one of the games that are releasing for this year. I mean, again, we were not going to get into whole God of War. That could be a separate video, but like, I'm hoping that's also something that's promised for 2021. But let's be real here. At this point, who knows where that's going to come out, when it's going to come out. But for me personally, I was like, man, at least give me Horizon. I honestly thought we might even get a little bit more Ratchet and Clank news, but it makes sense. We didn't need it. I kind of feel like because it had its own state of play and everything. It had its own extra stuff. So like I kind of understand that. But Horizon was the one that I was like, okay, that's the only other game, big PlayStation Studio game that I was expecting to hear something about. But we didn't get anything about it. So I think in that regard, I was a little bit upset about it, but I can't deny either. Like this, everything that got announced here was really cool and it's exciting. A lot of the games, especially Kina. I'm so excited. I think a lot of us here are looking at Kina like, yo, that's gonna be such a fun game to play. And of course, so Final Fantasy VII fans, that's gonna be a big thing too.
I feel like Deathloop. I love Dishonored.
Yeah.
And it looks like Mirror's Edge, which I never got to play, but I did watch gameplay of it and it looked very fun. I'm ready for that. I like how it looks. That is one of my top ones that I'm looking forward to getting as well. But yeah, I mean that's it. That's my thoughts on it.
Yeah, man, that's my thoughts on it too. So I guess we're going to go ahead and wrap it up here. Guys, thank you for watching. Again, give us your thoughts on everything down below. Let us know what you thought about this state of play. And let us know if you were cool, any games you wanted to hear announced, or you upset no God of War stuff, even what we just said. Let us know down below, just let us know. But all right, if you haven't already, make sure you guys are subscribed to us and make sure you follow us over on Twitch as well, twitch.tv/59gaming1 and all our website down below. Check out everybody's social links and everything down below in the description section. Sorry, comments. You let us know. Let us know about everything. But all right, I'm gonna end it here. I'm Lethal One Up here with Chin, the Platinum Chin, and we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna end it here with you guys. We appreciate it, and we'll see you guys on the next video. Peace.
Peace out.